Welcome back to War 3 Weekly News. This week, the dev server opened twice, and the patch has already been announced to be released on Monday, so I'm kind of going to skip all the dev server stuff. You probably heard it all. I'm going to just jump straight to all the things that they haven't been talking about. First up, the tanks. In the files, a T-30 had been discovered, which is kind of like the American T-34, but with a 155mm cannon. Some further file digging showed that this vehicle is to be 7.0, a premium, and it has the price tag on it of 8,200 golden eagles. Although all premium vehicles, even event vehicles, do have an initial price attached to them, does not necessarily mean that they will put up for sale. It also mentions that it's supposed to be a gift for apparently MSI notebook, although apparently past gift vehicles for events have been labeled as MSI notebook gifts. So it's highly likely this thing will be the event vehicle for the winter event that is coming whenever. Next up is the Su-85A, which I have brought up in the past when its stat card icon was discovered. Now, lo and behold, here is the model. It's also assumed that this will be a winter event vehicle, though no one has brought up any information on whether this is true or what battle rating or tier it's supposed to be at, so we'll have to wait and see. A Simovente M4375, but with 3 machine guns, appeared. Perhaps I lost this one in the large list of other Simoventes, but I was suspecting this was going to be an event vehicle, as Italian tanks are being added, so it would be a perfect time to get people more interested in their tanks. In the terms of aircraft, the first one up was the MB-152C1, which actually was originally accidentally revealed back in the announcement of patch 1.73 on the French page, and it was quickly removed and was not seen in the game ever since. Now, it seems finally the plane is being added to the game, although when it first appeared on that webpage, it had a British Ronald, which is most likely a mistake, but hey, maybe they're gonna add it to the British tree just for the lulz. There was also a Focke-Wulf 190C found in the files. I don't know anything about this aircraft, though it looks like a more advanced development of the Focke-Wulf, and I'm pretty sure I read somewhere it was a prototype, and if that's so, it wouldn't be surprising if it was also an event vehicle. People do love their German planes. The final planes that were not shown on any tech trees, but only in the game file, was 3 Martin PBMs, a float plane bomber, or at least 2 of the versions are float, that has nothing to do with the B6. Get that out of your head, you filthy capitalists. Proud Russians would never copy US design and then just claim it as their own. The fact that there's 3 of these makes me think that it's not going to be a premium or an event vehicle, because why would you make 3 of them? But it looks like a pretty fun, higher tier than usual bomber. Pretty slim armament though. No actual model of it, but there are files pointing towards the Ju-388 to be added, which is like the Ju-288 but different. Will probably also be a premium, if not an event vehicle. Maybe a higher ranking bomber for Germany. There were also files for a torpedo turret belonging to the Kuma light cruiser, which further proves my theory that the Japanese Navy is very soon. Other things found were 7 different automatic rifles, obviously to be used as decorations that you would get through the next event, which is ever so closer. 3 new maps, which you probably already knew about. The Falklands, which is most likely a jet air map. Vietnam Hills, which is a tank map. It's rather big, but still a good amount of detail. I'm hoping it's going to be well thought out and not have any obvious camping spots or be able to shoot into the enemy spawn, but I'll have to see it in action to really make that judgment. Afghanistan air map, obviously for jets, and a ship map, which I did not play on, so I can't state anything. And something rather exciting is some tanks got their mantlet armor altered. T-25, M26, and T-26E1. There is now a 88.9mm Spall shield made of cast homogeneous armor, and the mantlet now has 2 hard spots that are 152.4mm thick. While the Italian M26A1 got a Spall shield that is 203.2mm. But also the Panther A, D, and G had its mantlet updated. Now the entire thing consists of 100mm, but 2 parts of it consist of 130mm, although rather small. They are right in the center, and the outlining part is now 300mm, which is a lot. The Italian tanks were updated in the second dev server. A variety of different armor values were changed. I won't bother covering those because we actually haven't seen them in game yet, so it doesn't really matter. But what I will mention is that some hatches on the Simavente are now 50 millimeters opposed to what they were. I forgot that it was very small. Make them more resilient to 50 caliber fire from aircraft. Although the Simavente still has a nice big old hole where the optic is, so I'd still worry about them, but not as much anymore. On Twitter, if a certain number of people like, comment, and retweet this certain post, apparently free stuff will be given out. Nice little event, but someone in the comments asked if the 21st is when the Christmas event is to start, and the Twitter dude replied with, "That's right, the festival event is coming," which doesn't necessarily say yes, it will start on the 21st, but kind of heavily implies it. On a dev blog about the overview of the Italian tanks, they showed all the tanks being added, and one of them was marked soon in common Gaijin fashion. But this individual tank was the C1 Ariete pre-series. This shocked many people, but not I. As I said back in my 1.85 leak list video, a trustworthy individual shared with me that the C1 Ariete and Leclerc tanks had their models complete, but they did not know the values, so it was sometime in the future that they would be added. This goes to back that up. I believe it's highly likely that the Leclerc will be added along with the C1 Ariete. When? I do not know, as some vehicles had been labeled soon, and it took well over a year for the vehicle to be added to the game. Although I have a feeling this one's going to be much sooner than that one Italian plane. I want to say next patch. To finish this video off, I think I'll talk a little bit about on the things that you probably all know about supersonic jets and Italian tanks. I played them all. Well, not all the Italian tanks, but all the supersonic jets. I gotta say, I think the Russian one is going to be the best, though I think the US one is going to be the most used, because it's American, and I think the British one is gonna unfortunately fall behind, as anytime I tried to break the sound barrier in it, its wings would fall off, which was unfortunate. I think air-to-air missiles are going to soon be abandoned for multiple reasons. One, they're awful, but two is the warning that a pilot gets when they have a missile locked on them. This is going to lead to people jaying out if they believe they can't dodge the missile, and so it's going to be less kills, so why use missiles when you can just gun them down? The only use they'll have is to scare bombers into jaying out. As for Italian tanks, I think that their low tiers are absolutely awful in every way. They have the mobility and the penetration of French tanks, but they do not have the armor of French tanks. They do have APHE, which is nice, but it's not worth it. Although, they do all seem to have at least 30 millimeters of armor each, so they're 50 cal proof, but it's not going to save you from German 20s. Their mid-tier stuff I think is more decent, but unfortunately is lacking in numbers, which is hopefully something that will be figured out in later patches. Their highest tier stuff is exciting, and I believe not their main battle tanks, but their fast stuff is what's going to be the real draw to this tree, as it seems that they have some of the fastest vehicles and a number of them. And I don't think the automatic is going to be what we want it to be. I think it might be that for killing aircraft, but with all the new Hellfire missiles and all that stuff, it's not going to do what we need to do. And it seems Gaijin has put a limit on the amount of AP ammunition high-tier Spags can take out, as when I took it out on a test drive, I was only allowed, I think it was 12 AP FSDS rounds, and they were very inaccurate rounds. Although so far my favorite vehicle was the SID AM-25, because if you turn the turret round and open fire, you can propel your vehicle up to 60 kilometers an hour. It's quite comedic. But anyways, that's just about the news for this week. Patch is apparently coming Monday, so get your patch boots on and get ready for that. If you have any comments or concerns for this video, you can hit me up down below or on my Discord. If you've liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I make news videos every week, and I make random videos throughout the week, so hit that bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything. And I like to stream on Fridays, so be there for that. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.